The Classic Tetris World Championships 2021 details were just announced on Tuesday. So in this video, I'm gonna go over them, compare what's different from last year, and give my thoughts on what to expect. The short version is, it's pretty similar to last year, with the dates moved up a bit. Like 2020, it's gonna be online, which I know it might not be what some people were hoping for. And I get it, there's nothing that completely replaces the excitement of a live crowd, and it stinks that at this point we're gonna go at least 3 calendar years between in-person championships. But at the same time, I do think it is the option that still makes the most sense for this year. The tournament has close ties to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which provides a lot of logistical support, and when they canceled again earlier this year, it made an in-person event pretty unlikely, as finding a different convention elsewhere would be kind of inconvenient for the organizers who live and have all their gear in Portland, and putting on an independent event would be a huge undertaking and probably too financially risky to be worth it. Additionally, even if the United States has almost everybody vaccinated and all the travel and gathering restrictions lifted by the end of the year, it unfortunately may not still be the case for all areas of the world. So an online tournament puts everybody at least on as even of a playing field as possible to participate. For instance, everybody who invested in a home setup last year will be able to use it again. But there's also a lot of other benefits as well. I think the hard thing about last year was that it was an event that had never been online before, so nobody quite knew what to expect. This year, not only will there be a chance to have a smooth run through, having practiced the format and the procedures once already, there are a few aspects of the tournament that I thought were the best ever in 2020, and I'll be really looking forward to this year. So first up on the schedule is registration, which runs for most of September. And then the last week of September and the beginning of October will be qualifying week, where each player signs up for a 2-hour time slot to post a high score or as many max outs as possible while live streaming on Twitch and being monitored by a judge. For me, qualifying week was the biggest surprise and one of the best things about 2020. In years past, players had to spend most of qualifying time waiting in line, and the majority of the 1-hour rental stations weren't recorded or broadcast. For 2020, everyone's qual was streamed and recorded, so if you had a couple of favorite players, you could hop in their chat and see the whole thing while cheering along. Additionally, the Ctwc Twitch page had a master stream that rebroadcast the current qualifiers all in one place, with a live leaderboard and a rotating cast of commentators, which was awesome. It was basically like a Tetris TV channel for a week, and it really made the quals feel like the first stage of the tournament. So the qualifiers, like last year, will seed the top 64 players into the main bracket, which has 8 double elimination group sub-brackets with best of 5 matches that guarantee that every player has at least 6 individual games to prove their worth, and have a shot at being one of the 8 quarterfinalists. These brackets will be played in mid-October. The order is subject to change, probably just in case it's near impossible for one of the players who qualified to play on a particular day, like what happened in 2020 where Quaid and Paul needed to switch. So for the first time in like 3 years, the bracket is going to stay the same size as it was the previous year. Now, some people might have the response of, well, the talent pool is still growing, shouldn't they expand the bracket again to accommodate everybody? My initial reaction is, I don't know if that's a role that should be expected of them anymore. In the early years, of course, Ctwc was a one-of-a-kind event. It was the only NES Tetris tournament of the year. But nowadays, there's events like the Classic Tetris Monthly, Classic Tetris League, Classic Tetris Gauntlet, Classic Tetris Brawl, Tetris Friendlies, World Puzzle League Open, Eat My Elo. Basically, the list just goes on and on, that people of all skill levels can participate in on a year-round basis. Given how large the scene is now, it makes sense that a World Championships would feature the best of the best. And if you aren't able to make the main bracket, there's still a good chance, of course, that you'll be featured on the qualifying broadcast. A lot of unknown stars were found during the quals last year, such as Uncle Mike and Anna, and it's been awesome to see them blossom into full-on Twitch streamers with their own Discord community. But even with that all being said, the organizers still want to include as many people as possible in head-to-head matches. Seeds 65 through 96 will play in a separate silver bracket like last year, which ended up featuring a lot of longtime veterans and fan favorites such as Batfoy, who ended up winning. And there's even talks of creating a bronze bracket to give seeds 97 through 128 a shot at some kind of bragging rights. And then on November 14th, the big finale with the top 8 will happen again like last year, just of course 3 weeks earlier in the year. And throughout the summer, there will be various qualifiers and tournaments where players can earn a free entry to qualify for the event. Now you may still be thinking, oh, this is all well and good, but I really miss the real life stuff. Am I gonna have to wait a whole nother year for the next in-person event? Not quite. In very limited amounts, there are still some live tournaments happening this year. Back in March, there was a Ctwc Hong Kong event. I'll have a link to the broadcast in the description in case you missed it and want to check it out. The Ctwc Iberian qualifier is going to be partially in person for some players in Spain, and there's exactly one live regional event qualifier confirmed in the United States, a Southern qualifier at the Southeast Gaming Exchange July 10th to 11th in South Carolina. So if you live anywhere nearby in the US, that's going to be the event to go to to if you want in-person Tetris action. I'm kind of far away, and I'm gonna do my very best to go because it's probably the one event in 2021 that I can realistically attend. One correction to the announcement though, if you do plan on attending, you don't need to practice your combos and T-spins, those won't really help you. There will be more updates I'm sure on the Ctwc social media pages if any more details or in-person qualifier events get announced, so that would be where to check in on for any news over the summer. So yeah, it should be an exciting year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.